it's just going to be so much easier because if the video goes down, it's just going to be a bad situation, okay?
Okay, no problem.
So let me tell you where we're at procedurally. Okay, so basically we had the trial, right? And the court determined that you neglected your child by virtue of mental health issues, okay? But it doesn't mean that you can't get the child back. Do you understand?
Okay.
Listen, you're a smart woman. Listen to me very carefully, okay? There's two parts to the court process. One part is, did this person neglect the child? And which the court said yes. And the second part is, now what do we do about it, right? So the question of what we do about it, that's what we're going to discuss on Thursday, okay?
Okay, so my question is trying to figure out what was the neglect because I gave him applesauce.
Because of all the previous mental health records, because of what the doctors testified.
And that's what I feel is wrong. They can't judge me based on my mental health. And how was it a breach of security? That's I let you talk, right? That's why I feel like I need a lawyer that's on my side, because I don't feel like you're on my side right now. Because I'm feeling like even if a person has mental health, which I did the most present physical that says I don't have mental health, because I have the paperwork and everything that says that. And even if a person has mental health, what does that have to do with them raising their child? It wasn't even proper protocol when I spoke to the advocate for ACS for him to go at the hospital. They said he was supposed to come to the home. They said if I had an ACS case prior, I didn't have a child prior to Miracle. They said if I had an ACS case prior to Miracle, then that's when he was supposed to go to the home. And when the judge asked him, I think it was 2 courts prior to that, why was the child taken away? He basically said, I think I may have the virtual for that one, but he basically said he don't know, he don't remember. So now we're calling him. It's been like since he took the child away 2 years ago, he only answered the phone once or twice.
Who is that?
Mr. Marcus Joseph. And now they're saying they're going to give me a new ACS worker just to make it seem like nothing doesn't happen. And then when we did a background check everything was on the laptop. Like all the evidence was on the laptop, but the laptop got misplaced. So now we're trying to figure out if it's been a breach of security in general. Because when I'm speaking to professionals said it sounded like my son just been kidnapped and he just probably used ACS as a cover up or something of that nature. Because now we're going to these meetings and the case planner is asking the children for money. Like, I know she's playing around, but now it's like she's taking it for a joke. She's making it seem like, if she doesn't come to work, then nothing gets done, or it's just like it's only for work purposes. She keep on mentioning, she's off, or she doesn't talk on weekends, and a whole lot of things that's making it seem like everything is about money. And I'm trying to communicate with her that this is a child's life. This is not about money for you to just making it seem like, it's only based on 9 to 5 schedule, or it's only 2 hours out the day. He's losing his mom and his dad. He's losing quality time with family just because you guys are talking about trying to force adoption. So I'm trying to think if Hardship was the one that hired these people from day one, and ACS probably had to intervene. I don't know what the situation is. I'm not an investigator, even though I worked for an investigator before, but I'm not in the pros like that. I can't cohere what is going on with the situation.
So let me ask you a question. Are you currently in therapy?
I'm not in therapy, but I did go to the psychiatrist, and she said because I'm pregnant now that she can't give me the Risperidol. And I know I did the physical and everything, and the latest physical said that everything seems normal, blood work seems normal, everything seems coherent. So right now I'm just taking prenatal pills. And I have another appointment to go in tomorrow. Today I went to 2 different doctor's offices. The first doctor office, I didn't really like it because he just seemed pretty weird, following me everywhere in the clinic, and I was just like, let me leave. His attitude was very weird. So I went to the Interface instead, and Interface said tomorrow to go to them, and they're gonna bring me a van to go to the Prospect, where the OBGYN is in the Prospect area.
Mm-hmm. In Brooklyn?
Yes.
So you're not going to a psychiatrist. You just went.
No, I went to a psychiatrist, and I have all my paperwork. I've been going to the psychiatrist. I've been taking my medicine. It's not about that. That's not what I'm saying. I said I went to a nurse, and the nurse at King's Hospital said that she doesn't feel comfortable with giving me Risperidol anymore. She said she feels comfortable with giving me magnesium and whatever. So I don't know if that's the case, because I've spoken to them. I said, can people still go to therapy without taking medication? And she said there's stories like that. So I don't know what the story is right now, if they're just trying to see what's going on. There's weeks I go like 10 at a time. I can't even go to work with the amount of times I've been going to these appointments. So it's not me keeping up with the situation. And I feel like my medical records are being used against me. She's saying that she's trying to help me, but it seems like they're trying to use like, oh, craziness is a legal thing or whatever the case may be. That's not why my son was taken away. He was taken away because the guy said for applesauce on the paperwork. For the facts that it said because I gave him applesauce. That's why they said they took him away. And there was no legal papers written down. And the day of, even Marcus Joseph said he didn't have paperwork at all. He didn't have no paperwork until 2 days after. And when I asked my husband, did he go to try to pick our son up from Marcus Joseph? He said he went, and it was some type of house. Like, it wasn't even an actual office. And when we went to the ACS office, ACS been closed to the public since the COVID. Like, when you go to the actual ACS office, it's closed. So I'm like, how are they working hard? I notice everyone in this building has their children. I'm the only one without my child. I don't understand what's going on with the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only reason I haven't brought it to criminal court, because I don't have the heart to send it's not in my heart to send someone to jail or anything like that. But it's endangering my child when I don't know, when they're saying that they're going on cruises ship. Can my child go with them on cruises to out of the country and all this other stuff? And he's only barely 1.5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And this person has, like, no offense to her, she has like 6 to 7 kids in her household. She didn't appear to court. They haven't given me any medical records of him going to the doctor, even after signing the HIPAA. And I don't know what's going on with the release of HIPAA. And I don't know what's going on. She's not, for somebody that's the temporary adopted parent or the foster parent, why isn't she showing up to court? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I understand the case planner, but she's not showing her face. We don't even know if I'm looking her name up online. I don't see anything regards to her. She keeps on saying that she's going to Bahamas, she's going to Florida, she's going these places. No offense, but they're having 6, 7 kids. It seems like it's a money thing. And it's not fair.
How often are you keeping record of how often you're visiting and how often they cancel on you?
Yes, I signed the paper, but I didn't take, I signed the entry paper of, like, when you walk in and you have to sign in to, do the visit for my son. That's what I've been doing each time. But I know as far as, like, text messages and stuff like that, I email them. I have those things. I've been going to, I have to I was supposed to do the appointment today. She said if I don't confirm every day before 2, not every day, but every Monday and Thursday before 2:00, then she has a right to cancel. We'll confirm before 2, and she'll still find an excuse of why he's not there at the time. Now, as a parent, it makes my heart race because I don't know what's going on with the situation. I can't locate him, and she's saying I'm not allowed to. The temporary foster mom gave me her number, and now the case planner is intervening, say I can't interact with her. She's making it seem like I already signed my rights away when I'm not. It's like they're trying to get me to sign my rights away. And it's, of course, HeartShare is an adoption agency, so their whole goal is to get people to get their child adopted. And I'm not trying to get that done at all.
I understand so that they're making it difficult for you. But I have to know this, okay? We can't do anything about that the court made a finding, but what we can do is we could try to show the court that now you are in a position to have the child in your care. So that's why I need you to answer the question specifically, if you are in therapy. I'm not really sure the bottom line is.
I'm not in therapy because the therapist I had left, I go to the psychiatrist at Kings County every 2 weeks or every month. And they were supposed to give me a therapist. And last time I went to the psychiatrist, she was saying that Miss Eczema, they call her Miss Eczema. She said that she felt uncomfortable with giving to Risperidol because I am pregnant right now, and she doesn't know what's going on with the situation because they keep on changing me psychiatrists, and they keep on changing my medication, so they don't know what the situation is. So I have a physical that says that everything is normal. It says psychiatry, mentally everything is normal, physically everything is normal. It seems like everything is normal. That's what it says on the paper. So I'm still going to the therapy, but it's like I go to the therapy, I go to the prenatal care back to back almost every week. It's either they do another appointment or they have me see someone, but they don't give me the actual prescription unless I go through an emergency room. Now, I don't want to get trapped in the emergency room because I've heard people legally, like Creedmoor, I've heard like patients stay there their whole entire life and only go to visit their family on weekends or whatever the case may be. I'm not trying to get stuck there because I don't have someone to advocate for me.
See, it's a vicious cycle. We need to get you into therapy on a regular basis so the court will see that you're in compliance. But you're saying that you're trying, but they're not really helping you even be in compliance, right?
Yeah, because I'm speaking to isn't psychiatrist the same thing as therapy, or?
So yes and no. So it's two things. Psychiatrist is usually the doctor that gives you or prescribes medication, right? Or if you're on medication, to monitor that you're taking it, or to monitor, like, the blood work. But the therapist is a person who's supposed to, like, if a person has like certain issues, the therapist is the one that's supposed to talk to you maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks to, talk about the issues and work them out. So, a person usually needs a psychiatrist and a therapist. So I would like you to be in therapy. You're telling me that you've tried, but they're not working with you?
The last therapist I had left, so they were going to recommend me a new one, but they haven't recommended me a new one. They're only having me see the psychiatrist right now.
So let's discuss that on Thursday because, I don't want, like you're saying, if they're trying to terminate your rights, we have to show them that you're doing everything you're supposed to do to get the child back in your care. Okay. And they're the ones that are stopping you from doing it, right?
Okay, but is it illegal for them to say someone that has a mental illness can't raise their child? Like that's what it sounds like they're trying to make it applicable.
No, listen to me. No. I'm trying to explain this to you. A person can have mental health issues if they're treating them. Like let's say a person really has mental health issues and they're supposed to be on medication, but they're not taking their medication. That could be a problem. Do you not think that then the child's in danger? But if we could show that either you're taking your medication or you don't need medication, but we need a professional to tell the court that. Do you know what I mean? That's why I need you to be, I need a letter from the psychiatrist to say either she doesn't need medication anymore or, she may need it, but I can't give it to her right now until after she gives birth. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
But you have to tell me, I want to work with you, but if you don't want to work with me anymore, these cases are very difficult. But if you want to get another attorney, we're going to have to tell the court that you want another attorney, or do you want me to try to work with you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would want another attorney.
Okay, that's okay.
Because I honestly feel like when it comes to like people with mental illness, there's progress as long as they're eating healthy, going to the therapist, different. Because I feel like that's what she was concluding. Like everything was going coherently, Miss Eczema and stuff like that, from what they've been seeing. And I've been going to I've been going to Kings County for a while. So I think what they're trying to see right now is if I can go through the cognitive therapy or whatever the case may be. But I feel like this particular person, Marcus Joseph, has taken advantage of the mental health system or whatever the case may be to just take people's children away and have them try to stigmatize them as mental health as well. Because HeartShare only takes people that deals with mental health. So now it's trying to, I feel like they're trying to slowly but surely try to say, oh, my son has a mental health issue. That's the only thing I can predict, because that's what HeartShare, when we look at the HeartShare website and everything like that, that's the only thing they talk about is mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're doing things that are not it doesn't seem like it's like when it comes to the case planner, that's the only class. When I asked the director, can they change her? She said that's the only case planner they have. So it doesn't seem she respects the situation. There's a lot of triggering words. Like when I video document, like my husband going to the visits and I'm going to the visits, there's certain words that she'll say. And I don't know if she has a mental health issue, but I just know that she's not taking it as seriously. Like she's making it seem we'll sign the release of HIPAA, but she's using it against us instead of her goal is not back to parent. Like we'll have the housing space. And she'll still say, well, they got to go to the court. Like she doesn't when the court told her it's up to HeartShare and the progress for her to give our son back. But it seems like she doesn't want that at all. And she doesn't show because I don't know her experience with children, but she doesn't show us like she likes us. Like, she doesn't show coherent with our son at all. And then when we're like at the visit, she's either on the phone or on Facebook. She's not as documenting the information.
Who is that?
The case planner, Miss Nadira. But when she's in court, like, she says more things when she's out of the court. But when she's in court, she doesn't say anything at all. Like, she doesn't say, I took the parenting classes. Now she's making an excuse that my husband doesn't take the parenting classes. And she keeps on procrastinating. She says she'll get my son medical records. I told her I can get it from the health department, but she said no, she'll rather get it. And she was supposed to get my son health records since last week, and she still haven't gotten it. And this is the second time I signed a release of HIPAA for us to get his medical records, because I want to make sure the days they're not using him as an excuse on the days they missing the visits. Because every time they miss a visit, they'll either say he has a doctor's appointment or whatever the case may be. And I was told I can go ahead and go with him to the doctor's appointment. But for some cases, they wouldn't even let me know what doctor he goes to until recently. I had to read it on the release of HIPAA. So I'm just making sure. And then I noticed something was wrong with his teeth. So at first I wasn't paying attention, but she said that's how his teeth is. So I'm trying to get the medical records just to cohere with what she's saying because his head sometimes he would come to the visit, his head would be really swollen. And at the time I had a long time, I didn't have a phone until recently. So I couldn't document the situation. So now I'm trying to figure out what exactly is going on. Why is his head getting swollen? Why is his forehead, his cranial getting swollen? And why aren't they like mentioning anything? I'm still fresh to being a mom. I know I'm 30 something years old, but I'm still fresh to being a mom. So certain things I'm trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Is it that they're doing something to him that I don't know about? Or is it, I don't know what the situation is. And when I meet Mrs. Byer, the temporary mom, face to face, she's very nice, coherent, but it's just certain signs. I don't know. I'm not with them 24/7 at home. And she has 7 adopted kids, not just 1 or 2. And it's not like she doesn't have any of her own. So I'm like, what is her ultimate goal? Her goal is to just adopt children. Like, I don't understand. And they're saying like, for income tax reasons, there's this lady that was saying each parent gets $4,000 per child. I haven't gotten Medicaid. The only thing I gotten is the health insurance card. I still have the health insurance card for him, but I hasn't gotten no type of money for my son whatsoever. So me having a child is not for money purposes at all.
Right.
So I don't know if their goal is to make money. I don't know what the situation is. And every week I try to bring baby food, clothes, something of that nature. My biggest fault was not keeping up with the receipts, but now I'm trying to keep up with the receipts and stuff to show that I really care for him. If I could have visits with my son every day, I would, but Miss Nadira is just saying that it's only limited to 2 hours, 2 hours a week per parent. And that's Monday and Thursday. And she said if we don't confirm by 2 o'clock, then before she didn't have that rule. So I don't know what the situation is. And I try to be as nice as possible, but she's not making it any more easier for. She's trying to make it seem like we're the parents that are at fault. Like she's doing us a favor when we didn't even want our son to be adopted, period.
I understand.
And then I called the office today. No one's not in the office. The director's not in the office. The only person that's in the office is the secretary.
You mean that for the ACS or for HeartShare? For
HeartShare. But I know they're very prominent at doing referrals all the time. Like, they don't do anything unless they get through a referral. So I don't know if they're getting paid for referral services, but the way Ms. Nadira has been giving it out is like it's all about money. That's what it is for them. And I'm not trying to have my son be through child labor or whatever the case may be. I'm trying to look at it as in a good aspect, but they're making the situation even as worse as it is, because now I'm trying to figure out why is every week his forehead is getting swollen, and then she's saying they've been to the doctor with him and they're saying everything's okay. But if everything's okay, then why is I don't get why his cranial is being swollen. Like, are they dropping him? Like, I don't know exactly what the situation is.
That's what you're noticing.
Yeah, and then that's what she told me. She said they have to do a CAT scan for him because they noticed that his forehead be swollen sometimes. So I said, okay, they can do the CAT scan, but she haven't been giving me the medical records. And I tried to contact the temporary mom, but she hasn't been able to contact me to let me know, like, where is the doctor's visits at so I can make sure he's okay. From what I heard, the other parents, they go to their children's school, they go to the children's doctor's visits with the temporary parent and everything, from what I've been hearing. But for our case, they haven't allowed us to do any of that.
I gotcha.
So and then they're making it seem like, oh, if we're going out the building, if we're sitting outside, we can't, like, watch them go. They think that we're going to go to their house and stuff like that. But I've heard parents that know their temporary foster parents home and stuff. I haven't signed my son off, so I don't know what's going on with the situation. I just want to make sure he's safe. Like, I don't want them to think that I don't want him or anything of that nature. They're trying to prolong the situation for me to change my mind, but I'm not.
But listen to me. Everything, even if you want me to get off the case, which we'll discuss with the court on Thursday, okay? But I just have to give you advice that you have to document everything. You know what I'm saying? You have to keep a log. You have to keep a log of every time you reach out and they cancel. Okay, you have to keep a written log of that, okay?
Okay.
All right, that's really important. And on Thursday, you'll decide if you want to testify, if you want me to tell the court that you want another attorney. You'll tell me Thursday morning how you want to proceed, okay? But in any event, you're going to have to testify because the court only hears from them. I want you to say about when they interfere with your visits, about that your home is ready and all that kind of stuff, okay?
Okay.
All right? Or information that you're asking about your child and they're not giving you that information, okay? So did you get your visit for 2 hours this week?
No, she canceled it. I confirmed since 9 o'clock this morning. She confirmed at 12 that Miss Byers had an emergency to go to the hospital, and she had an emergency as well. So I called the office, and the office says the director is unavailable and her supervisor is unavailable.
When was your visit supposed to be?
It's supposed to be at 4:05. It's between 4 or 5 o'clock.
Today?
Yes.
And so you have it today is
we have
Monday.
it on Monday and Thursday. So on paper it's at 5 o'clock. On paper it's 5 o'clock. But since me and Leon go on the same day, they have his at 4 and mine's at 5, and they say we're not supposed to be in a building together. So my thing is, like, it's bringing more tension because we're married for one, and they don't have nobody else with this issue. I've seen other people's have their disagreements and stuff like that, but it just seems like they're more pressuring us to be separated or whatever the case may be. So
and you're living together.
We're not living together currently, but we're trying to move back in together just to see how the situation goes. Because of everything that's going on, we've been trying to go to therapy and make sure everything's okay. But it does put a stress when we don't have the actual advocates, or like when people are saying, like when we speak to officers, they'll say, oh, well, it's been a year now, so it's not considered kidnapping. But when we speak to an officer like from a different borough, they'll say, like, well, if the person is missing, even if it's a minute away, then that's considered missing. You should make a report on it. So every person has their own opinion to what is going on with the situation. So we don't know what else to do, but we're going to our health meetings. He's doing proper protocol. But as far as the parenting class, she's saying that he has to have both types of insurances. But we had the same parenting teacher, and she didn't ask for both insurances. She said that we just had to have Medicaid. But with him, she's trying to say that he has to have both Medicaid and another insurance. And when he was taking the parenting class on his own, she said, no, she doesn't accept that. She just wants the one that she refers to him. So I told him, just take the parenting class anyway and try to bring it into court. And if they say that it's only through her referral, then let them say that. But if he's making his own initiative to go to this parenting class and she's prolonging the situation, then just take the parenting class as such and then wait. And then if the court says that they don't accept that particular parenting class, then let them say that. But don't just wait on her and she's not even showing initiative to put him in the parenting class. Because she didn't do all that with me. She just referred the parenting class, and I was already taking the class and I completed it. And I asked her for the copy of the certificate because someone went into my email, so I don't have that copy anymore. So now it's like
So you have it now. You have it now.
she says she's gonna email it to me, but I have to. Of course, it's my job to. I'll remind her to email it to me again to make sure, because I think she has so much on her plate with her schedule that a lot of things she procrastinate on. So that's why I did tell her about I went to the Queens Hospital. They said they were going to mail me the health records. But since I have a change of address, I have to go to the post office and have them remail me his health records from when he was born. And then after that, the medical records of them going to the doctor's visits. I just want to make sure they're going to the right doctor visits. Everything is on the doctor have a good background and that they're making sure everything is okay. He's doing proper procedures, because even the procedure of Marcus Joseph seeing our son naked, when I spoke to the advocate, they said it was only supposed to be done by a doctor. No matter who did the report or whatever, he wasn't supposed to try to do a physical on my son whatsoever, because that wasn't proper protocol.
Okay, let me tell you this. I want you to write this down, okay?
Okay.
If they cancel today's visit, okay? And I know sometimes you use different phones. You got to make sure you use one phone, one number at all times, so that they can't say, "Oh, I couldn't get in touch with her." Okay.
Okay.
So I want you. That's very important, okay? And I want you to text her tonight, saying, "I know you canceled today's visit. When are we going to reschedule for this week?"
Okay.
Because if they cancel and you start missing visits through no fault of your own, that's going to be a problem. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I did ask her to reschedule, but she still haven't responded back yet.
Well, if you have to text them every single day, you text them every single day. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And how was the visit last week? Good.
Yes, it was okay. I was able to the place that I'm at was able to give me some clothes for him, so I was able to change his clothes because he only had his pajamas on. So I changed his clothes, gave him fruits like raspberries, peaches, things like that, and he was eating healthy, because I know Miss Byer is huge on healthy, because she had him vegetarian for like a year now with no meat. And then when he recently ate meat, then he got sick from it. So I just want to make sure I stay on protocol, make sure he eats really healthy, and make sure everything's okay.
Okay, good. So good that you did that. But you know what I'm saying? I need you to keep, because I know sometimes you call me and then I can try to call you back, but now you're using another number. I need you to use the same number all the time, so then we can document everything. And then Thursday morning, when I see you, you're going to tell me, am I asking the court to get off the case, or are we going to try to work together, okay?
Okay.
All right? So we'll talk on Thursday. Keep me posted, okay? And use the same phone, and every single day say when.
And then what I'm scared of is like during the week, like, are they giving him to other families without me knowing? That's the only thing I'm scared of.
What do you mean other families?
Like certain times, like certain people would say his name, but they said like there's a lot of kids named Miracle. But I just want to make sure, like, because I know Miss Byer goes to work and stuff like that. I don't know if throughout the week.
Find out. Okay, listen to me. This is what I want you to do. I want you to text me all the questions that you have, and I will ask the ACS attorney all those questions, okay?
Okay.
All right? Okay. And then we'll talk again Thursday morning. But use the same number all the time and ask to make up the visit, okay? Please.
Okay. All right.
And then we'll discuss on Thursday how you want to proceed. If you think we can still work together, or if you want me to tell the court that you want another attorney, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.